Assalamu alaikum students. Good morning all of you. I hope you all are fit and fine. So today let's start chapter number 13, A Shelter So High. So in this chapter we will study about the highest places in India and about the people living there. So a traveler's tale. I am Gaurav Jani and this is Loner, my partner, my motorcycle, but Loner is never lonely. We are together all the time. So you can see in this picture that one man is standing with his motorcycle. So that man is Gaurav Jani and his motorcycle name is Loner. So they are together all the time. Now I and my motorcycle wait for a chance to get away from the busy, crowded, and noisy city of Mumbai. So he is living in Mumbai and he is telling that he is waiting for a chance that when he can get out from this Mumbai. So we like to travel to different parts of this wonderful country. Let me tell you about our amazing journey on the highest roads in India. So he and his motorcycle like to travel to different parts of India. And now he is sharing his amazing journey on the highest roads of India. So, getting ready, this journey took about 2 months. I had to carry everything on my motorcycle. I had to plan and collect all the things I needed. I packed a small tent, sleeping bag, plastic sheet, warm clothes, and food that would remain fresh for some days. I also took my camera and extra cans for petrol. Luna and I left Mumbai, passing through small villages and towns of Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Rajasthan to reach Delhi. So his journey was of 2 months, and he used to carry everything on his motorcycle. So he had to plan and collect all the things like small tent, sleeping bags, plastic sheet, then warm clothes, and food, etc. Now he has also taken with him a camera and extra cans for petrol. Now he left to Mumbai and reached to Delhi by passing through Maharashtra, Gujarat and Rajasthan. It took me 3 days to cover 1400 kilometers from Mumbai to Delhi. I was hoping to see something new and different in Delhi, but Delhi looked just like Mumbai. I am tired of looking at the same kinds of houses made of cement, bricks, glass, and steel. I was looking forward to my journey ahead. So now, when he reached to Delhi, and he covers 1400 kilometers from Mumbai to Delhi. So now he was hoping that he can see some new things which is different from the Mumbai. But in Delhi also he can see the same kinds of houses which are made of cement, bricks, glass and steel. So now he decided to continue his journey ahead. I was excited that I would be able to see wooden houses, houses with sloping roofs and doors covered with snow. I had seen pictures of such houses in many books. So now he is telling that he was so excited to see such wooden houses, then the houses which have the sloping roofs and the houses which are covered with snow, as he has seen the pictures of such houses in his book. I packed more things in Delhi and continued. In 2 days, we were in Manali. It was so refreshing to be in the mountains and breathe the clean air. Now, the real journey was to begin. We had to travel through difficult roads of the state of Jammu and Kashmir to reach Leh in Ladakh. So, now he is moving ahead from Delhi and he packed all the things, and within 2 days he reached to Manali. So he is telling that it was so exciting for him to see the mountains and breathe the clean air over the mountains. Now he is telling that the real journey was begin from there. Now he had to travel through difficult roads of Jammu and Kashmir to reach Leh, which is in Ladakh. Find out, check in your map which states would one pass through while traveling from Mumbai to Kashmir. So we can see in this map that we know that Mumbai is in Maharashtra. So starting from Mumbai, then Gujarat, then Rajasthan, then Haryana, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, and Jammu and Kashmir. Gaurav Jani passed through several states while going from Mumbai to Delhi. Find the capital cities of these states. Was there any other big town on his way? We all know that he started his journey from Maharashtra. So capital city of Maharashtra is Mumbai. Then Gujarat. So capital city of Gujarat is Gandhinagar. Then Rajasthan. Capital city of Rajasthan is Jaipur. Then Haryana. So capital city of Haryana is Chandigarh. Then Punjab. So capital city of Punjab is also Chandigarh. Then Himachal Pradesh. So capital city of Himachal Pradesh is Shimla. Then Jammu and Kashmir. So the capital city of Jammu and Kashmir is Srinagar. Now next question was there any other big town on his way? So yes, he would have passed through Udaipur and Ahmedabad. These are the big towns on his way. Now next question is Manali a plain or a hilly area? In which state is it? So we all know that Manali is a hilly area and it is in Himachal Pradesh. Now new home. Lunar and I were covering long distances each day. All I needed was food and a tent to protect myself from the cold night air. My nylon tent was so small that I could just about fit in it to sleep. He is covering a long distances on his motorcycle, so he needs two things, that is the food and a tent which protect him from the cold night air. So he is having a nylon tent. So he is telling that his nylon tent was so small that he could not stand properly in his tent. He could just fit about it in it to sleep. Now Loner stood guard outside the tent. The breeze and the sound of the birds woke me up to see the sunrise. So now he is keeping his motorcycle outside the tent. So he is telling that he stood like a guard outside the tent, and the sound of the breeze and the birds woke him up at the early morning to see the sunrise. Tell, have you ever stayed in a tent? Where? What was it like? So you have to know there that have you ever stayed in tent and at which place, and did you like it or not? Now imagine that you were to stay alone in a small tent for 2 days and could take with you only 10 things. Make a list of those 10 things. So for example, you may take with you food, then water bottle, then torch, blanket, stove, then camera, sleeping bag, extra battery, etc. Now, what are the different types of houses that you have seen? Tell your friends about it, make drawings too. So, you may have seen the houses which are made of mud, then the houses which are having the sloping roofs, then the houses which are made up of cement, bricks and steel, which are having the flat roofs. Now, cold desert. At last, Lunar and I reached Leh. For the first time, I saw such an area, high, dry and flat, called a cold desert. Ladakh gets very little rainfall. Here there are high snow-capped mountains and a cold, flat ground. So now he reached to Leh and he is telling that he is seeing that place for the first time, which is at high, which is dry and flat, and it is called a cold desert. And Ladakh gets very little rainfall, and there the mountains are covered with the snow, and he is very happy to see that cold flat ground. In Leh, I found myself in a quiet street with beautiful white houses. As I drove slowly, I found that I was being followed by a group of children. They called out, Julie, Julie, meaning welcome, welcome. They were all amazed to see my loner. Everyone wanted me to come to their home. So now at last he reached to Leh. So he is telling that he is very happy to see a street which are having a beautiful white houses, and Now he is going ahead slowly. So now he found that some group of children were following him, and they were telling him jule jule in their language, and which means welcome welcome. And they were very amazed and happy to see his loner, his motorcycle. And everyone is wanting him to come to their houses. Now at home with Tashi dragged me to his home. It was a building with two floors. The house was made of stones which were kept one over the other. The walls were coated with a thick layer of mud and lime. The house looked like a shed from inside with a lot of hay stored there. So now, in the group of the children, there was one boy named Tashi. He took him to his home, and his house was a building with two floors. The house was made of stones, and the walls are coated with a thick layer of mud and lime. Now the house looked like a shade from inside, and there were lots of things stored inside their house. We took the wooden steps and reached the first floor. This is where we stay, explained Tashi. The ground floor is for our animals and for storing necessary things. So on the ground floor, they were keeping all the things, all the necessary things in their ground floor. Now he is telling that he took the wooden steps, and now he reached to the first floor, and Tashi told them that they are staying at this first floor, and the ground floor is for their animals and for storing the necessary things. Sometimes when it gets too cold, we also move downstairs. I noticed that the ground floor has no windows. Thick tree trunks were used to make the roof strong. Now, Tashi is telling that when there is too cold, so they move to the ground floor. And he is also telling that Gaurav is telling that there are no windows in the ground floors, and the thick tree trunks were used to make the roof strong. Tashi then took me to the roof of his house. What a view! I could see the same flat roofs all around. So now Tashi took him to his roof, and so Gaurav is telling that the roofs of all the houses were flat and same. On some, red chilies were laid out to dry, and on some there were orange pumpkins and golden yellow corn. Some had stacks of paddy, and on some cow dung cakes were laid out to dry. So on the roofs, some people have put the red chilies for drying, then orange pumpkins, then golden yellow corn, then some have put paddy, and some cow dung cakes for drying. This is the most important part of our house, said Tashi. During summer season, we dry many fruits and vegetables. We store them for winters when we do not get fresh fruits and vegetables. So in summer season, they are drying many fruits and vegetables to store them for winter season, and he is telling that roof is the most important part of their house. As I stood there with Tashi, I could see how every part of the house was built specially to suit the needs of his people. I could understand how the thick walls, a wooden floor, and a wooden ceiling protected them from the cold. So now Gaurav is telling that his every part of their houses were made specially to fulfill their needs, and he is telling that the thick walls and wooden floor and the wooden ceiling was made such a way that they all protect them from the cold winter. Now, right during winters, Tashi and his family live on the ground floor. Why would they be doing so? So, the rooms on the ground floor do not have any windows. So, this protected them from cold winds and therefore keeps them warm in the winter season. Now, what is the roof of your house like? What all is the roof used for? So almost all of your roof of the houses are made of cement and it is used for drying clothes and food. People living on top of the world. Now we will study about the people we are living at the highest places. Now was the time to climb higher. Luna had a tough time zigzagging along narrow rocky mountain roads. At many places there were no roads at all. So now he is going to the higher places. So he is telling that for his motorcycle it was a tough time because he has to travel along the narrow and rocky mountains, and at many places there were no roads. I was moving towards the rocky plains of Changthang. This place is at a height of almost 5000 meters. It is so high that it is difficult to breathe normally. I had a headache and felt weak. Then I slowly got used to breathing in such air. For many days we kept wandering in this area with not a single human being in sight, no petrol pumps, no mechanics, only clear blue sky and many beautiful lakes around. So now he reached to Changthang. With this place it is at a height of almost 5000 meters, and he is telling that when he reached there it is difficult to breathe and he was having a headache and felt weak. Headache means a pain in the head. So as there was breathing problem, so he was having the headache, and then I slowly got used to breathing in such air. Now he is a little okay with breathing in such air. Then for many days he kept wondering that place that there are no single human being we can see there, and no petrol pumps, no mechanics, nothing. Only he can see the clear blue sky and many beautiful lakes. Many days and nights passed. Luna and I kept moving ahead. Suddenly one morning I saw before me flat grassy land. So now they used to go ahead and ahead. So one morning he saw a flat grassy land. Many sheep and goats were grazing there. Far in the distance I saw some tents. I wondered who lived there and what they were doing in this far out place. So now he saw some sheep and goats grazing there, and he also saw some tents. So he is wondering and thinking that who might be living here at such a high place, and why they are living here. So now find out at what height is the place where you live. So you have to find at what height you are living. Then why did Gaurav Jani say this place is so high that it is difficult to breathe normally? So the reason is that Gaurav Jani said that is because as we move towards a high altitude, the oxygen in the air becomes thinner, making it difficult to breathe normally. Now, have you ever been to a hilly place? Where? So you have to write that. Have you ever gone to a hilly place? Yes or no, and where? Now, at what height was it? Did you have any difficulty in breathing there? So you have to write that at what height that place was, and did you got any difficulty in breathing? Which is the highest place you have been to? Now you have to write that which is the highest place you have ever gone. Now, the Changpa. There I met Namgyal and came to know about the Changpa, a tribe living on the mountains. The Changpa tribe has only about 5000 people. The Changpas are always on the move with their goats and sheep. So now we will learn about the Changpas. Now he is telling that he made the Namgyal and he came to know about the Changpas people. Changpas are a tribe of people which are living on the mountains. Changpas are the people which are living on the mountains. So the Changpa tribe were having only 5000 people. The Changpas are always on a move with their goats and sheep. It is from this that they get all that they need: milk, meat, skin or tents, and wool for coats and sweaters. So they are always they always used to graze their sheep and goats. So they gets all the things from sheep and goats, that is milk, meat, skin for tents, and wool for coats and sweaters. Their goats were their only treasure. If a family has more animals, it is considered more rich and important. So the family which are having the more goats and sheep, they are considered the richest family. From this special goats, they get wool for making the world famous pashmina wool. So now they are having this special goats from which they get the famous pashmina wool. The Changpa graze their goats at higher and colder places so that the goats have more and softer hair. So now they get the famous wool, the famous pashmina wool from this special goats, and they used to graze their goats at higher altitudes because the hair of the goats always remains softer. They stay high up on these mountains in very difficult condition because that is where these goats can live. This is their life and their livelihood. So now they are living at these higher mountains because these special goats can live there only. So this is their life and they are living like this only. I was carrying very little of my belongings on my motorcycle, but the Changpas carry everything that they own, their horses and yaks. So Gaurav Jani was carrying only little things which were needed for him, but the Changpas carry all the things, all the necessary things with them on their horses and yaks. It takes them only 2.5 hours to pack everything and move ahead. So they only need 2.5 hours to pack all the things and move to next place. Within no time, they put up their tents at the chosen place. The luggage is unpacked and their homes are ready. So within no time, within just a time, they put their tents. They shift their tents from one place to another and they unpacked their luggage and their homes were ready within no time. You are most welcome into our home, said Namgyal as he led me to the big cone shaped tent. So now the tent of Namgyal was in the shape of cone. So he was having a cone shaped tent. So he told Gaurav Jani and he welcomed into their house. They call their tent Rebo. Now the tent name is Rebo. Yak hair is woven to make strips which are stitched together. Now the hair of they used the yak hair and they wove it to make a straight strips, and these strips are stitched together. These are strong and warm and protect them from the icy strong winds. So this tent protect them from the icy strong winds. I saw that the strips were tightly tied with 9 sticks. So these strips which are made from yak hair are tied with 9 sticks. The ground is dug about 2 feet deep. The tent is then put up around this on the higher part of the ground. So now they dug the ground for about 2 feet deep and they put up their tent on that ground at the higher part of the ground.